Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? God Broku likes to sing CBR. No, it's just fun. Dead Meme Train, what's up? Oh, Dead Meme Train, that's from my Discord. What's up? What's up, Dope? Dope's first? Hell yeah, Dope is first again. Your streak is back. I forgot if you guys know what I'm talking about. What? Dope used to be like first on every single one of my streams, and then he was like the third person last time I streamed. What's up, Sky and Gourmet Sandeater? Yeah. Writing this to yourself, it's fun. Unfortunately, if you guys haven't figured out yet, Black Clover Manga is on another big break. So, that sucks. Tabata's probably not doing very good. We're not getting a new chapter till, I believe it's the 25th or the 26th of December. So, another big break. That sucks, because that means that... Because basically he's going to come back for one chapter, then there's a planned break for the magazine the next week. So it's like, we're going to only have like 3 chapters in a 10-week span. So like 30% to amount we're used to. Which, sure, guys, it sucks, but... Remember that we just came off a 3-month hiatus. If we can survive a 3-month hiatus after the biggest cliffhanger in manga history, I think we can survive a few weeks of getting consistent chapters again. And we're going to have to get used to it at some point, because this is the final saga of Black Clover. And eventually we're not going to get chapters at all. So let's just, enjoy it. And yeah, let's let Tabata recover. Because the healthier he is, the better the chapters that we're going to get. And the better the chapters we're going to get, the more likely that we get more Black Clover in the future. What's up, a kind of nut? Or kind of cut? A pint of cut? But yeah, so basically I went through and, a lot of times I just come in here and chat with you guys. I don't have really much of an agenda, except for when I do my chapter reviews. But a lot of you guys know that I like to talk about CBR articles or news sites, quote-unquote news sites of the sort, like Screen Rant and Games Radar that talk about Black Clover, because they are essentially terrible articles. Now, my whole, I guess not even a beef, if we go back to over a year ago, I'm drinking coffee, over a year ago, during the first Broku versus CBR war, they made an article that was probably the worst article that I've ever read, ever. Just like any sports article, any article on fiction, any guide for a game. It was the worst article I ever read, and it was like the 15 strongest characters in Black Clover. In that article, they called Nozel Noel, and got like multiple different names right. They gave wrong abilities to characters, and just the ranking of the list was incredibly terrible. So after seeing that, I ended up making a video on it. But if you guys don't know, before we get into this, I'm gonna go over these articles, read them, because these articles are about Black Clover. We cannot, and I repeat this, we cannot attack or do anything to the actual creator, like the actual writer of the article, because these people are severely overworked and underpaid. And I know this because the funny thing, before I made my videos like debunking CBR and how bad they made a list on Black Clover, what happened was I actually was like, oh shit, I'm decent at writing. I know a lot about Black Clover and My Academia and other animes and mangas, and I have so many ideas that, they're not good for my videos and the algorithm because I'm a smaller channel, but Screen Rant or CBR, their algorithm's huge because they are a massive company. If I apply for them, I can actually write good articles, make some more money on the side. So, over a year ago, I actually did apply for, I can't remember if it was CBR or Screen Rant, but I applied to write about anime because they had an open position. Like, this would be cool to, talk about Black Clover on a different medium, make some extra money, and actually write good articles. They ended up rejecting me, saying that I'm not qualified for the position. Even though I'm able to get, like, views on video articles. My videos are essentially articles on a much smaller platform of having, 60 whatever thousand subscribers. No, I'm not working. No, they rejected me. Not going to work for CBR. But after seeing their pay scale, I probably wouldn't have wanted to work for them anyways, because this explains. I saw the pay scale. I pretty much explained how crappy the articles are, why they're so bad. It's because you have to write so much articles to make shit money for CBR. I think it was like the pay scale was you had to write at least 14 articles a week. So if you think about that, guys, if you want 2 days off, if you want a normal weekend, you got to write 14 articles in 5 days. That's like 3 articles a day. And I think that the pay scale was like 20 to 25 bucks an article. That's not very good. Not very good at all. And the end of that scale was like, if you have to write like at least, I think it was 28 articles a week to make 50 bucks an article. Which, guys, 4 articles a day, or I think it's almost 6 articles a day if you want to work a 5-day week to write for them, to make decent money, to make a living. So that's why the articles are so shit. Because CBR is a company that doesn't want to pay their people what they're worth. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's why these articles are so bad. So that's why whenever you see people shitting on these articles, we shouldn't be critiquing the actual writer, because they're just trying to make a living. It's the company. CBR could easily switch their style to make better articles by just investing more money. And honestly, they could probably make more money in the long end, because they can still clickbait articles and actually make them well written and stuff. So yeah, that's the reason why I don't want anybody here to attack the writers of these articles. They're bad because of the people they work for. So there's a little, why is my coffee cold? I just made it. That's a little disappointing. I just realized it was cold. Yeah, the writer's not in the wrong. So that's what I want to get across, is no matter what I say here, do not do anything to these writers, because they don't deserve it. Because at the very least, look at it as that they are still giving exposure to Black Clover. Even though some of it's negative exposure, because a lot of the stuff they write is bad. Like one of the articles I wanted to talk about is they did an article that was like 10 times plot armor ruined Black Clover. Little cringy article. But in the long run, these people are just doing their job. They can't control that. They have to write so many articles just to make money. So, yeah. Now we're back to the second great Broku versus CBR war. Because I found some more articles. And I'll probably have to do another stream, because I found like 6 different articles. 2 of them on CBR, I think like 4 of them on Games Radar. And I just stopped looking, because there are so many articles you can find. And probably when I expand to more 7 Deadly Sins content, or content from other series, there's going to be a lot more to do. So I'm going to have a lot more streams probably to come. But, yeah, besides that, how's everybody doing today? Broku, you can't debate. Last time you ghosted me saying you're busy. Who are you? I'm a human being, exactly. Capitalism, my abhorred. Articles are so bad. They are bad. I don't know what you're talking about, saying I'm busy and I ghosted you. No, I debate people. I debate people all the time. Most of the time people will say they debate me, then I never hear from them again. I didn't mean like, who are you in that sense, Sasa. I meant like, who are you on Discord that I probably talked to? I didn't mean like this guy's a nobody. But like, what are you on Discord? Who are you on Discord? What did you want to debate me about? What's this stream about, Broku? Well, CBR is a company that writes articles about a lot of different things, usually like other types of media, like fiction, and they write Black Clover articles. And they're bad. So I wanted to talk about how bad they are. And just read them with you guys. And then give my analysis. Okay, Jay, and who are you on Discord? I'm asking you multiple times. And what did you want to debate? And maybe I'll remember. I had two debates with this man, and like a week or so I've been in the server. Really? With the same guy? That's funny. Anyways, we'll wait for Jay to reveal like what his Discord is. Yeah, I debated so many people, and there was a guy that I was going to debate today. Or not debate, I guess he wanted more talk, but I was babysitting while he was available, and now he's at work, so. Anyways, the first article we're going to go over, and this was published in September of this year. It is 10 times plot armor ruined Black Clover. Actually, I'm going to not pause, I'm going to block this real quick, and I'm going to move my chat over to here so that I can see the chat, because I can't see it when I pull this up. No, with you, dude. Gotta close these ads before they give me freaking copyright strikes, right? What's up, Flam? Oh yeah, we did debate this, the partial W union thing. You literally agree with 99% things I say. That can be a little dangerous. But anyways, like many shonen anime, Black Clover falls victim to plot armor that can completely ruin the show for some fans. Black Clover is a very popular, long-running shonen title whose popularity rivals the best anime out there. Black Clover has a lot in common with other anime series, a hot-headed protagonist striving for greatness, the power of friendship, plot armor, and epic battles. Oh, that kind of describes, like, everything, I guess, but whatever. The plot armor is particularly important because it's an essential part of any good action series. Like many anime, Black Clover uses plot armor to keep characters from dying too soon. Sometimes this tool was misused and it brought more harm than good to the series. Lots of times in the show, plot armor was used in a more underwhelming way and made the story look cheap. Black Clover is on break 0 until like December 25th or 26th. Number 10 is Julius didn't need to return as a child. This is the funny thing. Like, okay, I'll read it first and give what I thought, but Patru got the better of Julius during their battle and thought he was presumed dead. Julius survived. Not thought, and though he was presumed dead, jeez. Julius wields time magic, and during this fight with Patru, he used up most of the time he had stored up and only had enough power left to revive himself as a young child. Given that Asta aims to become the Wizard King, it seems the story deliberately made Julius weaker in order to make Asta's goal more attainable. It's great that Julius survived, but returning as a child is not the best way to use plot armor in that situation. And this is completely misunderstanding Julius being turned into a child. Plot armor would be essentially if Julius came back with no negatives, no cons. But he didn't. He came back as a child. He was nerfed. He didn't have very much magic power. He had one page of his grimoire. And what did that do to the series? It made it a lot more serious because essentially all the nobles, they liked Julius. Even the royals kind of liked him or whatever. But he would not have nearly the support as a child. So it's kind of the exact opposite of plot armor. Because plot armor would him be coming back and everything was okay. Like it never happened. But it actually changed the series because they needed to change how they acted. They needed to change how Julius interacted with people because they had to create that fake body double who would talk to the populace. That was like mentioned a lot in the anime canon and shown a lot. You have to look for the vid. Well, who are you on Discord? You said you joined my Discord. So that's why it's not plot armor. Because plot armor is like, kind of like, things happen good for not a great foreshadowed reason. That's kind of, I think, would say what most people think plot armor is. Like, this character didn't die, and it's kind of cheap. Kind of like what this guy said with plot armor is, it's cheap. But this wasn't cheap, because Julius came back, and it makes sense. He has time magic, and he's the strongest guy in the kingdom, so when you pair that together, it already made it possible he's going to come back. But there's no plot armor because there was a limit to how he came back. He came back as a child, which actually had consequences for the story. So, yeah. So, like I said, this is not really plot armor because there's a big limit to it. This one, I'm already triggered, guys. I'm already triggered. One of the best moments in Black Clover, one of the best moments in Noel. Noel's character progression. We'll read it, but he basically says that the Valkyrie armor is plot armor, which is funny because they're both armor. Noel fought together with Nozel for the very first time when they had to face off against a powerful magic knight who got possessed by an elf. Her power was greatly amplified and was enough to give even Nozel a tough time. The battle became underwhelming when Nozel was so easily taken down and removed from the spotlight. Nozel is more powerful and experienced than Noel, so if anyone was to get a power-up, it should have been him. Noel grew tremendously powerful in an instant and was able to easily take down an opponent that easily overpowered Nozel. Okay. This is, like, just so baseline, right? For one, the difference with Noel compared to Nozel is, sure, Nozel has been stronger than Noel. Noel has greater potential because she has greater magical power. Now, I guess I can't really blame this guy. Actually, I still can blame the article. Because it is stated that, you know, she has, like, insane magic power. She just can't use it. And this is expanded on in a light novel where she just doesn't have the vessel to use her magic power like other people. For whatever reason, she doesn't. So what this means is that whenever she has any sort of increase in magic power, it can be justified by her just being able to use it, because she already had it in the first place. This is just her uncovering it. So that's why she's able to have so much potential, because it's just locked inside of her, and she cannot use it. And to say that the battle became underwhelming, a little cringe. So the thing with Nozel is this was foreshadowed because she had learned to use Mana Skin. She had already been training a lot to this point too, just in general. She had put herself in tough situations, and she's a descendant of Austere Selva, who also has Valkyrie armor. So we knew that she had the potential to get a spell or an armor like this because just how genetics works in Black Clover. And so when you pair everything together, right, it's just like, is this really plot armor? But, no. For it to say, so if anyone was to get a power-up, it should have been him, as in it should have been Nozel. No, it shouldn't have been. Noel was a lot more built up to have a power-up there, not Nozel, because she has way more potential, way more room for growth. She grows faster than Nozel. And this is just explained, like, she got so good at, because she had been so focused on trying to control her magic power. She controlled it to the extent that she could expand her Mana Skin and form it into Valkyrie armor, so that Kevin, which is the Compass Mage, the elf, her Compass magic wouldn't fuck with her Valkyrie armor. So it's like really weird reasoning to call it plot armor. It was pretty heavily foreshadowed, and it's not like this made her groundbreakingly powerful. Sure, she won, but it didn't make her just, like, broken, I guess. This one I thought was hilarious. Zagred shouldn't have survived Yami's attack. It's pretty obvious why he didn't. But, like I said, we'll get to that. I just lost the chat again. What the heck? There it is. You have a question about certain 2 feats in Black Clover? Alright, well, just drop them down. If I see them, then I'll respond, but... Anyways, Zagred was the one behind all the chaos during the Elf Reincarnation arc, and he was the final enemy to defeat. He was the final enemy to defeat, to put an end to everything. Zagred was immune to magic attacks of the physical realm, so other magic knights were more or less useless against him. This is actually technically untrue. The only ones who stood a chance against him were Yami, who wielded dark magic, and Asta, the wielder of anti-magic. Yami was able to unleash a devastating attack on Zagred, which should have been fatal. Unfortunately, the story chose to go with the long-standing tradition of allowing the main protagonist take down an enemy he normally shouldn't stand a chance against, and Asta was given the chance to deal the final blow. This didn't feel cheap at all. Like, if we're going by this article's definition of, you know, plot armor, it's something that, you know, it's not very foreshadowed and it feels cheap. This didn't feel cheap at all. Makes a lot of sense, actually, if you just look at it, all things considered. You can't kill Zagred unless if you break up his heart. You have to destroy his heart. So, Are we to assume that Yami, standing hundreds of feet away, launching a Dimension Slash while Zagred is in the middle of moving in a fight against Asta and Yuno, that he just gets lucky and lands the attack from that distance? Wouldn't you consider that even more plot armor? I think it would be more plot armor if Yami just busted Zagred's heart from a distance like that. You got lucky? I can't find the vid. Maybe it was about the one about Julius being weak at AK. I got lucky? What do you mean I got... What did you want to debate? Like, what are you talking about, bro? You're funny. Anyways. So, yeah, it's not plot armor. Like, it's just, that was a joint effort to win. And, like, sure, Asta got the final blow, but it was everybody working together. Like, if you're going power scaling wise, sure, like Asta scales to Zagred, but if you're going narrative wise, that was a narrative effort. That was a narrative effort. So you have Sharla healing Yami and then adding a little bit of force to Death or Dimension Slash. You have Sekra healing Asta. You have Yuno hitting Zagred and stalling him after he's hit by Dimension Slash. So it's not like Yami's attack should have killed Zagred and then Asta just took the W. It wasn't. It wasn't cheap. It's just that he didn't hit the heart. Like, it's that simple. Yeah, exactly. Dead meme train. It's almost like they said you can't kill a devil without, destroying its heart. And that's true. Next one is plot armor prevented the Wizard King from killing Patri. It is the Julius's weak video. Sure it was. You found the comments on your email. Okay. I mean, the thing is even though I made the Julius's weak video, and I disagree with it now, I still would have beaten you in a debate. I debated so many people on Julius being weak in the past before like the new meta came out, and everybody conceded to me that Julius is weak. Like, what do you want to debate on now? That's funny. It'd be funny if I went back to that video and saw that you didn't even comment on it. Okay. Sorry, I need a cough drop. I recorded a bunch right before streaming, so my, doing that and talking, my voice is a little scratchy, so I put a cough drop in. The Prime Julius video. I'm funny. Okay. Patri sought to obtain the magic stones that were in the Wizard King's possession in order to fulfill his goal of wiping out the human race. Their battle was truly spectacular, but it could have been better if the Wizard King was able to go all out. Patri's soul shared a body with the soul of William Vengeance, Wizard King Julius's friend. Because of this, Julius was unable to bring himself to fight Patri for real, lest he destroys both Patri and William. This battle ended in disappointment, and to this day, the full might of the Wizard King is unknown. I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. Like, did that really feel cheap? I guess it's subjective if this one is plot armor. Because I didn't think that was cheap. I didn't think it was cheap that, he was in William's body. And that's why Julius couldn't go all out. And what's funny is with all of the new information in the Black Clover manga, it's not just that, that's the reason. It's also now heavily implied that Lucius was manipulating Julius's soul to make him throw the fight, essentially, and hold back. Because he needed Julius to lose. Because he needed the events of what happened with Zagred to happen. Because he needed whatever happened with Yuno and Asta to get Black Divider, get Spirit of Zephyr, to progress, for the Clover Kingdom to learn about the Devil threat, to lead to this whole thing of Lucifero being defeated so he could get Lucifero's heart. Lucius POV, yeah. That'd be so sick to see his point of view from that fight. So, again, I don't think this was plot armor. This one's maybe a bit more debatable because of the circumstances, but with maybe it was a bit more plot armor back then, but with what we know now, it's not. But I still think it's nothing worthy of making a list. Oh boy, the Devil Banishers. The Devil Banishers were a group of people who believed that Asta was the root of the chaos during the Elf Reincarnation arc, and they sought to do away with them. They're comprised of a group of terribly weak mages. Even the lowest ranked Magic Knights shouldn't have a problem disposing of them as a whole. However, these people continued to outmaneuver the most powerful mages in the entire kingdom. They once clashed with the Magic Knights, who were led by their respective captains, and they still managed to escape us unscathed. Against captains, they should have been able to make it out with their lives. I mean, I almost want to agree with this, because, I mean, I hate the Devil Banishers arc. Like, maybe it's because I got behind on the anime canon when it was airing, and everybody was like, oh, the Devil Banishers arc, this is so good. This is like peak Black Clover. Like, this is amazing. And I watched it, and like, guys, this feels like filler. Like, a lot of the other anime canon felt like the Black Clover anime. It felt like it was adapting the manga. The Devil Banishers felt like it was adapting filler. So I guess that's maybe why, because this is so bad, I kind of like reason with them thinking of this. But one way I can think of why they kept getting away is because they actually had abilities that were perfect for running away. Like, I can't remember what the abilities were, but they could just like disappear and like teleport away, which made them hard to track down. And they were like, you know, working together in tandem. They were a lot more unified than the captains, who were, and you also think they had the advantage every time because they had a plan going into everything. The Magic Knights were taken off guard. But again, yeah, I could see this as kind of not plot hole, but plot armory-ish. But yeah, filler. I mean, this is canon. The Devil Banishers is canon. I almost want to watch it and make a video on it, but yeah, exactly. Dead Beam Train. They didn't really win fights. They just escaped every time because that was their plan. Yeah, that's good. Thanks for reminding me, Louis. That's what I was going to say, and then I got lost into their abilities. They also had magic items. Magic items are broken in Black Clover. Like, Sally made a magic item that increases your magic power by 10-fold for 10 minutes. Like, that's one of the things I hope Black Clover gets a lot more into in the final saga, is just bringing back magic items. That would make sense as a way for Lucius to be defeated, or to make Lucius even stronger. Yeah, and Dazu could combine other people's magics. Like, they were weak individually, but strong as a whole. Registered as filler. If you're talking about, like, websites, those websites don't really have any authority. This is stated to be canon because it's stated that the anime material for the 6-month time save was going to be supervised by Tabata. And even the director of the anime said it was part of the original, like, story. What was your game of the year? Mine was Elden Ring. Good point, One Smart. So, yeah. I mean, like I said, sure, but, like, there is explanation for why they kept escaping. And it's not like they ever, like, just completely fucked on people. They had group battles, magic items, all that nonsense. And I think they had items, I think, that amped their powers, too, if I remember correctly. 5. Ladros survived a stab to the heart as if it were nothing. Are you guys, like, let's read it before I discuss. During their battle against the Eye of the Midnight Sun and the Diamond Kingdom, Asta encountered a Diamond Mage called Ladros. Ladros is capable of absorbing his opponent's attack and releasing it as his own. When he fought Asta, he got stabbed in the place where his heart should be. However, wait, you know what that guy's... That means that Ladros was Zagret all along. However, all Ladros was concerned about was the fact that the sword lodged in his chest was draining his magic power. Despite this being a fantasy anime, this is one of those aspects of reality that should remain the same. Ladros shouldn't have been able to survive the attack without healing magic. I think this anime picture they used might actually make the stab wound look worse. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the manga. Because I think it was like barely lodged into his chest. From what I remember. Just gonna go and find it, then I'll bring it back up. Should be like, what, chapter 96? Oh, I think it was 95 when it first hit. So yeah, I'm looking for the manga chapter for where this happened, because I think the anime almost makes it like it's worse. I mean, it could be the other way around, but like... I think the heart is also deeper into the chest than you would think. Yeah, that's like barely into his chest. I'll show y'all. Guys, that's barely in his chest. Like, you gotta remember, like, Ladros is a massive guy with so much muscle. Like, there's so much flesh. That's what we need to get through before it touches his heart. That's like gonna be only a few inches right there. So I don't see that actually like meaning. Now, if the sword was shown to go like through deeper in, I would agree with it kind of being plot armor. If he didn't have any sort of ability that allowed him to do like stuff like that. But it barely was in his chest, so... I mean, honestly, I don't know if that's in the right exact spot for it to, like, hit his heart. It's, like, on the same side of the chest where your heart is. But, like... I mean, I'm a big dude. Ladros is bigger than me. And I, like, have, like, several inches of flesh before it would hit my heart. But, anyways, so yeah, I wouldn't consider that plot armor, and I lost the article somehow. Okay, now we're back. Asta's anti-magic, it's too convenient at times. Oh, them's fighting words. Black Clover, no space, never seemed to run out of villains who can only be defeated by anti-magic. Incorrect. And it's slowly becoming annoying. The battle with Dante is a good example of this. Yami put up an incredible performance, and he was obviously more skilled with magic than Dante. Yet Yami needed Asta's help to make Dante go down and stay down. What? That's the justification? Oh, I missed the first part. Asta's a long way off from being the first Wizard King, yet he still managed to take down some of those powerful villains in the story so far. This can only happen so many times before it becomes patronizing. Asta's power is not magic, but it's the direct opposite. Okay, so that was the first part. I read the second paragraph first in accident. I honestly think that it's really not that bad. The thing that I think might be the worst edition of plot armor for Black Clover, which they don't even mention this. It's the Demon Destroyer sword that could just neg the reincarnation spell. I would consider that plot armor. I would consider that plot armor. 100%. Berserk Asta. Possibly. Plot armor. Probably I would lean more to that being plot armor. But he mentions this Devil Arm Asta, and they show Asta there. Devil Arm Asta is not plot armor. He made a deal with his devil. Whatever. But why don't they include an actual plot armor that happened? It's so confusing, right? Like, I don't think anybody would disagree that. I mean, of course somebody would, but I think most people agree that the Demon Destroyer's ability to neg the reincarnation spell was plot armor. That's my opinion. But number 3, Lotus of the Abyss has escaped too many times. Lotus is a Diamond Kingdom mage who Knights of the Clover Kingdom have encountered more than once. During any battle with the Diamond Kingdom, the aggressors were always the Diamond Kingdom. Wait, what? During any battle with the Diamond Kingdom, the aggressors were always the Diamond Kingdom, and Lotus was frequently at the front lines. Wizard King claimed to have fought Lotus a while back, and he's also been defeated by Yami, the Black Wolves, and again by Yami. Fans would think he should be long gone by now, considering all the powerful opponents he's lost to, but he somehow managed to escape death each time. His continuous survival hasn't added anything worthwhile to the anime. I mean, like, I guess. Like, one of the most insignificant characters escapes death, and that's, like, his trait as a character. Like, I don't know. And this can't even really be used anymore, because he couldn't escape Morris. He needed to be saved. I don't know. I'll let this one slide. I have proof you can't debate. Okay. Dante's magic keeps him from dying. Despite having an overwhelming amount of mana and a lot of battle prowess, Dante still has the unfair advantage of being able to regenerate severed body parts. This makes him difficult to beat, even for the best mages. His battle with Yami is one of the best so far in the series. The battle showed that neither Yami nor Dante was to be taken lightly. Dante was no match for Yami's superior fighting skills and clever use of magic. However, his inability to die just kept denying Yami the opportunity to shine as he ought to. That's it. I mean, like, is that plot armor? Like, is that really plot armor? Just because he can regenerate, and then he ended up getting nearly killed anyways. I think that was just to show that's like just one of his ingrained abilities. Like, we see that, you know, early-ish on in the fight. Remember when Dante first fights, we see that just bring up my past mistake. He told me to look at Discord. I'll finish this point, Jay, and then I'll look at Discord real quick. But, anyways, we knew that the Dark Triad had multiple magical attributes, so we knew that Dante was gonna have a second magic type. And once Dante recovered from that wound from Yami, we knew he had a second magic type, and we knew it was likely something to do with regeneration. So it's not cheap. We knew that he was gonna have this ability. We knew that he was gonna have two abilities, and it wasn't that insane, and it's also now been countered several times. Magna fought him, and he just negated it by outlasting him and equalizing their power, and breaking his contract with Lucifero. Jack was going to be negating it, and I mean, Asta did it. There's probably other characters that could do it now too, but I don't know. That's a little weird. All right. I want to see what you said, Jay. Can't debate. You stopped showing all the replies in the Discord, dude. You're funny. What's funny is you say I can't debate. Yeah, I debate people all the time. Is there a way Jack could go on stage? What do you mean? Alright, we're back to the final list. Final list. I don't think it's very good either. They say William saved his squad members instead of fighting at full strength. William is a very powerful mage, but he's not had enough chances to show what he can really do. The fight against Xenon should have been the perfect opportunity to display his full strength. However, he chose to save his squad members instead of fighting with all his might. Saving his comrades weakened William's focus and dispersed his magic power. Protecting his squad members was a noble thing to do. If he had given it his all, he might have been able to take the fight elsewhere and keep his subordinates away from harm. I guess he could have taken the fight elsewhere. The issue is, though, is that his squad was dying. Like, already? They were already dying? So it's either fight Xenon and maybe win, or let him capture you and save your squad. Like, you know what plot armor would have been? Plot armor would have been William saves the Golden Dawn. None of them die, and he fights Xenon, and Finnon, like, flees and runs away. That's plot armor. Plot armor is not William saves half the squad. The other half dies, and then he loses the battle. I like, don't you guys think that's what plot armor more so would have been? Like, I don't know, it's just weird. A little weird how they're justifying things, you know? A little weird. But, I mean, was that a bad article? Yes. Like, what was it? I said that maybe one thing was plot armor, and then I think one thing was close to plot armor. Like, just didn't seem really good. So, didn't seem too good. There's been worse articles, but I mean, I'll get into another article. What do you guys think of the article? I want you guys to tell me what you thought. I mean, just so many, and the funniest thing I think though is that, like, the one, like, definitionally plot armor thing that happened isn't included in the video. Oh, that's weird. I can't see chat. Okay, there it goes. Class up CBR quality, isn't it? Yep. CBR do gauntlets. I mean, if they got a good writer for it. Or not. They probably have good writers, but if they give the writers time to do it. CBR sucks. Yeah. Remember, guys, don't attack the author, though. As I mentioned in the video, these guys are overworked and underpaid. So, it is the company's fault for their articles being bad. So, yeah. I'm going to pull up the other article in a sec. But, it's been a fun stream so far, guys. Thanks for coming in. Probably going to have to end the stream after this next article. But this is a longer article, so the stream's still not, like, halfway over yet. But... Dun, dun, dun. But do you guys, like, before I get to the next one, do you guys have any other, like, articles you've seen that you can particularly think of that would be good to talk about on stream? Like, let me know. Because, you know, it's sometimes, like, I will miss articles. Like, I'll be like, oh, wow, this article has been out for months and I didn't even see it and I didn't react to it yet. And discuss why it's wrong, because it's just so many that it's easy to miss them. But and my chat dispute. There it is. The top ending characters that can beat Sasuke. Did they do that? Some Black Clover Reddit posts? Oh god. Their Reddit hates me. I mean, I would. Like, the Reddit, people on the Reddit, there's so much bullshit. Like, such dumb stuff posted on there. Not everybody on the Reddit's dumb. Most people are not. But, like, just a lot of the stuff there is so stupid. Did they actually do 15? I wonder what 15 characters they chose Tashi to fight against. The issue is I don't scale Naruto, but versatility of anti-magic. That's a good point, Phantom. It is pretty versatile. When's the Espada vid? Not for a while. Probably months. A fun Sasuke versus Yuno fight? Maybe. I mean, I don't scale Naruto, so, like, I would not be, like, any sort of an authority on that, but I do have friends that, you know, do, so maybe it could be a collaboration. I'm actually doing a Naruto and Black Clover, like, cross-verse battle scenario, and the video is going to be, could Pain have stolen Asta's Devil, or captured Asta's Devil? So that is going to be a video project that'll be out hopefully soon. Him and I have been working on it for a long time in terms of scripting it. But once the script is done, I mean, it won't take that long to do. It's just trying to figure out. Because we kind of had a lot of it done, and then we stopped talking about it for a while, and then the meta changed for Black Clover, which made it a different situation. But, hey Jay, do you have anything you disagree with right now and you want to debate me on? Get something set up? I yell Broku swag, I'll get collab. I mean, I probably not. Why would he want to collaborate with a Black Clover YouTuber? Doesn't he do only Naruto stuff? Anyways, let's get to the other article. That is the 20 strongest characters in Black Clover. And I got the article up. Let's close some of these advertisements. Oh my god, I just closed 3 of them and they just re-popped up. Jesus, okay, I'm just gonna refresh the article. And it was a list for the strongest members. I was going to say Katsuki, but paint at number 11. You know, the captains would still be a force to be reckoned with in this arc. Probably. Not like top tier or anything, but they should be pretty good. Alright. Oh my god, there's so many ads on here. You know they make so much money. Oh my god. And they're only paying these people 20 to 50 bucks an article. Black Clover's growth and popularity has made it one of the top series to appear in Weekly Shonen Jump. As a story that takes place in a world of magic, it features numerous powerful characters, and most have garnered fan bases worldwide since appearing in the series. That's real that I can't see the YouTube chat, and I'll bring that up on my other monitor so I can see it. Okay, now it's up. I can see the chat. Oh my god, now it just went away again. There we go. Many of the wizards and later devils that appear in Black Clover use robust support magic, combined powers to overwhelm their opponents. What? These characters have earned reputations to have incredible magic capabilities, fighting abilities, and overall combat strength. 20th is Patri, who has an infinite reserve of mana. As leader of the Midnight Sun, Patoli is incredibly powerful. His power lets him manipulate light, and his movements are versatile. Patoli can fire multiple high-speed projectiles from a distance, move at light speed, and attack with the weapons of light. He can even use light to heal himself. After succumbing to despair and becoming a Dark Elf, Patoli's magic evolved into a Demon Light magic. In this state, his speed and power drastically increased. Not even the teamwork of a transformed Asta could stop him. Even after Asta returned Patoli to normal, he retained the ability to use his magic. I don't see any reason for Patri to be 20th. There's no reason to say that he scales to the Cliff-Off Devils. So that right there would be 10 characters. A lot of the captains would then scale above him too. I mean, this is just a generalization of his powers. It doesn't really give any reasoning for why he'd be 20th. But this one's a grid. This is wrong. The reason why this is wrong is by the time of the Heart Kingdom arc, what's that called? The Joint Struggle arc, so the first arc of the Spade Saga. Patri surpassed Segred. Because Noelle believes that Patri is stronger than her. And she just got done being relative to 70% Vanica. And as I've said many times before, the base Triad scale above Segred. The base Triad can, it's stated that the Triad are all the same power, and base Dante can toy with a Black Divider Asta, who is more than 25 times stronger than the Black Divider Asta that Segred fought. And Noelle fought 70% Vanica. So, and she thought Patri was stronger than her. So, no, Segred would not be above, but as the mastermind behind the L's massacre and turning, I'm going to say Patri, into an extremist, Segred is the very incarnation of evil. Upon his debut, he was one of the most powerful characters to have ever appeared in Black Clover. That's true. And thanks to his word soul magic, the devil could modify its surroundings just by speaking. After attaining a grimoire of despair, the devil's power increased to the point where it summoned a large mass of demonic energy that absorbed mana and the life force of living beings. Even the combined powers of Licht and Lumiere weren't enough to erase this monstrosity from existence. Yes. I was talking to one of my friends, Sosa, and he actually pointed something out that I didn't even realize, but it's crazy how much stronger Segred is than Licht. Like, right after Licht uses ultimate magic, which would be his strongest spell, And he combines his strongest spell with all of the elves' mana in the area and hits Zagred with it. And Yami is sensing this going on. He's like, that didn't even put a dent in Zagred's magic power. So yeah, Zagred was fodder. Or not Zagred, he's fodder. I mean, he's fodder now, but Licht is actually fodder to Zagred. It's kind of sad. He was just holding back the entire time. Because he didn't even go full power until Asta hit him with Black Divider. Okay, but yeah, Licht and Lumira were not strong enough to fight him. That's true. He's not stronger than Patri though. Patri's stronger than Noelle, who scales above. Lopechka, yeah, she's strong. She's strong. I don't know if I'd put her this high, but she's definitely above Zagred. But the Patri is, I guess, more debatable. But we don't really get to see if they use Devil Lopechka at all. Then that's done. But it's not a surprise that Lopechka has overwhelming magic as the ruler of the Heart's Kingdom. True bravery and power stem from her station, and throughout the series, she repeatedly demonstrated her willingness to risk her own life to protect the kingdom. The Queen's attachment to natural mana of the Heart Kingdom is why she is a seemingly unending amount of mana to help others defeat her enemies. Even though Lopechka's combat skills could use some development, her unending mana reserve more than makes up for it. Well, it's not even just that she has natural mana, it's the fact that she has the Undine, the Water Spirit, and it's also the fact that she has the combined power of all of the previous Heart Queens. So, let's just see who they put above her. Nozel. Yes, Nozel is stronger than her. This was also made in, like, November, I think. So, this includes everything that happened in the Spade Saga. And yes, he should be stronger than all of these characters. Because he fought Magicula and actually did stuff to her. He just bodied her at points. He just wasn't arcane. While he may be arrogant and look down on commoners, there's no denying Nozel Silva's immense magic power. After constantly training in Mercury magic, Nozel could adapt to any situation, even against mages with a power advantage. The magic's versatility allowed Nozel to create a variety of shapes and forms to either attack, defend, or transport himself and others. When Patri became a Dark Elf, Nozel wasn't the least bit concerned with the increase in his power. By solidifying his Mercury into a reflective surface, Nozel trapped Patri and defeated him by reflecting his dark attacks at him. Doesn't even mention Magicula. What's the point of this article? Like, so weird how they justify scaling, right? What do you mean, do I want to debate about Lucius absorbing all the Supreme Devils and beating Asta? That's super vague. Vanika's powers come from possession. So they have Vanika at 16. Who do they have? Oh, no. Nozel is way above Vanika. Okay. We'll talk about it after we read. Although she is a member of the Dark Triad and possessed by the Devil Magicula, Vanika is a pretty happy wizard, one of the more powerful in the world of Black Clover. Her blood magic is strong enough on its own. In combination with her Devil's Curse magic, it becomes a devastating threat to humanity. As with her siblings on her Devil Host, Vanika possesses superhuman abilities that push the boundaries of power scaling in the series. Her superhuman abilities prove to be a nigh insurmountable hurdle time and time again. And when was it published? September. It was published in September. So they know everything that happened in the Spade Saga and the first several chapters of Black Clover's newest saga. So, the reason why Nozel scales above Vanika, and it's not even close, is that just by, like, basic power scaling, Vanika got mid-diffed by Noelle. And Magicula was, like, casually just fucking on Noelle. And if you just go by the Devil Disciple meta that Dingleberry Dova made, if you go by that meta, which is that she used a fraction of her power to make 100 different Devil Disciples stronger than the 100% Dark Triad, which means that Magicula would be over 100 times stronger than the 100% Dark Triad, which means if Nozel could do anything to her, he would scale above her. Number 15 is Noct. Noct is actually kind of underrated. Like, I remember when I made the first, like, Noct versus Yami video, everybody thought I was dumb. And then Noct gets, like, another power-up by being able to fight Lucifero. I would put Noct higher than Mariona, who's on here. Who's above him? Fuegoleon, I put him above Fuegoleon. Oh god, the Queen of Witches. That's gonna be funny. Lumiere. God damn, okay. This list just gets even better. They put Patry at 20 and Zagrad at 19. Didn't even mention Licht and Lumiere were both much stronger than Elfar Patry. Yeah. I mean, that would help justify their scaling, but... I mean, they use Patry. Like, he's, you know, he has scaling from the Spade Saga that would make it, but... Every Magic Knight squad is equipped with 2 things by rule, a captain and a vice captain. Actually, squads can have multiple vice captains, but anyways. The Black Bull's captain, and actually, now we've seen that Ino is a captain too, so maybe it's 2 captains as well. But anyways, Black Bull's captain and his squad are clearly the strongest in the series, so it only follows... Wait, the Black Bull's captain and his squad are clearly the strongest... Oh, just the Black Bulls are the strongest, okay. So it only follows suit that their mysterious vice captain, Nocthas, would also be a formidable individual. Okay. The Fox family has history of binding devils to their ranks. Binding devils to their ranks. I guess within their ranks maybe it'd be better, but... And as evidenced by Noct's backstory, he was one of the most talented individuals to apply this craft. Noct has numerous devils under his control. He has 4. And with his knowledge, he's a vital part of defeating the demonic threat. Now, the reason why Noct should scale above, like, the characters, like Mariona below him, it's because... he actually did stuff to Lucifero. Like, he binded him a little bit with those dogs. He took hits from Lucifero. Was fast enough. Like, he took several hits from Lucifero. And that was a stronger Lucifero than the one that Mariona fought. And Fuegoleon only ever really went against the worm, like, larva Lucifero. And that was before he was amped by Valhalla. It's CBR, exactly. I don't even know if I want to read these, because it's just like, okay, I've already stated why. Like, she needed a Valhalla amp to fight a weaker Lucifero than the one that Noct fought. Well, she needed Valhalla to amp her. Fuegoleon didn't do shit. Like, his best feat is partially standing in Lucifero's larval state gravity and doing a combined spell. Not a combo spell, just a joint spell with Mariona to destroy a part of it. Like, that's strong, but that's nothing compared to Noct. The Queen of Witches. While little is known about her, the Queen of Witches is considered one of the most powerful magic users in Black Clover. Her blood magic grants her complete control over the human body, and with hundreds of years of experience, she can easily heal limbs and fatal injuries. Furthermore, the Queen of Witches can remove magical afflictions, such as the Curse Veto, placed on Asta's arms. She also has the ability to create constructs of blood to attack or restrain her opponents, or manipulate them via their blood. Even the strong-willed Asta couldn't stop the Queen of Witches from making him kill his comrades in several alternate futures. This is a list on CBR. Hjalmsson. They made a top 20 strongest characters of Black Clover. The Witch Queen, guys, if she returns, I'm sure Tabata's going to give her some sort of a power-up, but she's not very strong. All we know is that she's stronger than the Salamander, because while she kind of like pretended that she was scared of Fauna and the Salamander and the Diamond Kingdom, when she finally used her power, Noelle was like, oh wow, and I thought the Fire Spirit Salamander was strong. So all we know is that she's like scaled to the Salamander, and this is like the crazy thing too, right? She said that many of the elves were as strong as her. Like, that's one of like the biggest like indications of how strong Black Clover got is that those fodder elves you see in the elf arc are running around, and they're as strong as the Witch Queen. Below Licht. I mean, she should be weaker than Licht and Lumiere, as they show, but she should be weaker than everybody else on this list so far. Like, actually, she probably is going to be... She should be the weakest out of everybody. She should be 20th for all these 20 characters, because she'd be weaker than Licht, Lumiere, Zagred, everybody, because of power progression. Let's go to Lumiere. What's up, Taewo? Born among the ranks of royalty, Lumiere is a magical prodigy who becomes the first wizard king. Like Patry, he possesses a 4-leaf grimoire that allows him to use light magic, but on a much larger scale. Lumiere's overwhelming abilities allow him to sense magical energies that are miles away from his location. Lumiere can instantly travel or attack long distances with high-speed light magic, as evidenced by his speedy arrival in the Clover Kingdom during the Elven Rebirth. Using Mana Zone, Lumiere can take control of the surrounding mana to unleash several concentrated blasts of light. During his final confrontation with the Ancient Demon, he creates giant constructs of light to put an end to its rampage. I mean, he didn't beat it on its own, but... You're right, Flam. It could be that the Witch Queen has been always holding back, but she said many of the elves were as strong as her. Like, she blatantly said that. Which, if you wank that statement, which definitionally that would mean that most elves are her level, but if you just wank the statement and say that she's referring to the Apostles of Sephiroth, she'd still be fodder right now. But maybe she lied. Hopefully. It'd be cool if she comes back and she's strong. Or she just got stronger. Wait, what? While Patry may have taken his name, his powers are nothing in comparison to the true Licht. As the original holder of Asta's grimoire and the creator of his swords, Licht used powers Asta wasn't yet aware of. For example, after reclaiming the Demon Dweller sword, the range and amount of mana he could absorb proved far superior to what Asta was capable of. By drawing on the power of his fellow elves, Licht can unleash concentrated magical energy in a single slash. After turning into an ancient demon, Licht's power rivaled that of Lumiere's. Rivaled? It was objectively stronger. Even if he was ultimately defeated, Licht pushed Lumiere to the brink of death. Are they just taking out, like, the greatest context of that fight? Like, they could make... Like, I could write these articles to make it sound, like, cooler, too. Like, Lumiere was the first Wizard King. He fought Demon Licht, who absorbed... Or, no, he was stronger than all of the elves combined. Because the magic item, it easily absorbed all of the elves' magic at once, but couldn't absorb all of Demon Licht's magic. So you could have said something like that. Like, that sounds badass. Yeah, like, they put Licht and Lumiere above Zagred. Even though Licht, with ultimate magic, with all of the Apostles of Sephiroth and Charla's power combined into a single attack, doesn't even put a dent in a suppressed Zagred's power. Now, there is the argument that maybe Prime Licht and Prime Lumiere are stronger than their, like, the power they showed in the Elf Arc. I'm probably going to make a video on that. I wanted to make not only a power scale, but like an actual critique / analysis of Licht and Lumiere and why them being surpassed, excuse me, is not like good writing. Like, you know, I love Black Clover, but that's one of my critiques, is that Licht and Lumiere should just still be like god tier characters in the verse. Well, yeah. Again, Licht and Lumiere teamed up. They get bodied by suppressed Zagred. Licht uses ultimate magic, his strongest spell, combines the power of all the elves into one, and doesn't dent Zagred's power. So, weird how they put Licht above Zagred. Xenon Zagradus can manifest dual mana. Would he be above everybody else? I can't remember if there's a... I mean, Marileona and Fulgolion are debatable, actually. Devil Zenon is strong, but the feat they did against Lucifero was crazy too. I need to make a devil power scale. I need to power scale all the devils or devil hosts in Black Clover or something like that. Make it like a tier list kind of like video. Kind of like I did ranking the captains from weakest to strongest or whatever. Another member of the Space Kingdom's Dark Triad, Zenon Zagratis, is significantly more powerful than his sister. What? I mean, I guess if you include the Devil Zenon, but are they going to say that? Before his defeat at Yuno's hands, Zenon could simultaneously handle 2 forms of magic at once. His bone magic created tangles of sharp and deadly bones, and his spatial magic created cubes of mana over which he had complete dominion. Additionally, Zenon could access 100% of his devil's power, since he was supposedly one of the strongest possessors. What? That's what Vanica could do as well. And it's not because he couldn't use 100% because of his talents. He used it because he could use 100% because the underworld opened. Whatever. This meant Zenon's powers were practically unmeasurable at full strength, and it took the best efforts of the most naturally gifted wizard in existence to defeat him. Zenon is strong, and since they said that it took, essentially they implied it took Yuno to defeat him. They didn't mention anything about Devil Zenon, but you could take, I guess, an implication that he's stronger than Vanica, that's why. Wait, is Dante on the list? I don't think Dante's on the list. That's funny. That's fun. That means I think Zagred and Patri are stronger than Dante? It's implied that Lumiere was weaker than his prime self. No, it's not, actually. That'll be stated in the video. I can talk about it real quick, but there is more evidence that Elf Arc Lumiere is stronger than Prime Lumiere, the one that fought Demon Licht. The reason why people think Lumiere is weaker is because he has like the stone body. But the issue with that is Lumiere, let's say Prime Lumiere, the one from 500 years ago. He fought Demon Licht, who was a lot stronger than him. Because, you know, it stated that back then Licht and Lumiere were equals. And then Demon Licht is stronger than all of the elves' magic power combined. Licht, the Apostles, everybody. I mean, Licht is by far the strongest, so you'd have the largest portion of it, but still. I mean, it's shown that Lumiere is far weaker than Demon Licht. He's just, you know, relative. Relative in power. In the middle of that fight, Lumiere absorbs Demon Licht's power. That's why he's affected by forbidden magic. It's stated by Zagred that Lumiere absorbed Demon Licht's power. So he absorbed the power of somebody that's significantly stronger than him. If I sound mad, I'm not. I like to talk about Licht and Lumiere because they're some of the coolest characters. And I'm so passionate about Licht and Lumiere because I think they could have been written so much better, especially for their power. But I'm not mad. I just like to talk about it because I get excited because I love talking about Licht and Lumiere. They used to be my favorite characters. But, while Lumiere is fighting Licht, Zagred says, if I had a body, that light magic would be useless on me. Now, in context, at the time we were reading this, we're like, oh yeah, Lumiere is not arcane. Now, I guess not at the time we were reading this, right? Because we didn't know about arcane, but we knew that there were types of powers that could affect devils and kill them. And then it's revealed that there's arcane stage like 20 chapters after that. But we also know now that arcane you only need arcane to kill devils. You don't need arcane to affect devils. You don't need arcane to blow them up. Like, Nozel is not arcane, but he can blow up Magicula. And if you take Zagred's statement that Lumiere would not have done anything to Zagred, like, his magic would have been useless. That means it wouldn't have done anything. Like, it wouldn't have damaged him or anything. That means Zagred's true power is above Prime Lumiere. But Elf Arc Lumiere can actually damage Zagred and fight him. So I guess you could say that Ziggurat was also suppressed. But still, that means you still have Lick and Lumiere weaker than Ziggurat. And you have them at fodders in the verse, unfortunately. Saw a video saying that Minoa is moon level and FTO plus. Oh, let me know that video. I don't see a lot of people scaling Black Clover to like celestial bodies like me. Such fallacies. I would put her to small planetary, honestly. And MFTL plus, Mashuri. She scales well above characters who create moons. Yeah, Magna would bot. Like, I want to make that video too. But I might just not even make the video and just address it within, like, my... I think I'm going to call the video the issue with Prime Licked. Or Prime Licked in Lumiere, whatever. Yeah, Magna would body. He would body Lick in Lumiere. It's sad. Well, star level. Okay, so... I didn't even talk about Zenon's ranking. Zenon's actually really strong. Zenon, you know, 100% devil power. He's around the level of Lilith and Amon. Then he gets his devil heart, becomes a devil, and then he goes full power. So he's above full spirit dive, you know, as a devil, and then base, you know, a star magic surpasses devil heart Zenon, and then, you know, goes full spirit dive again. And then Zenon goes to his full power. So like he's like a full spirit dive on top of Lilith or Nama if you like use it as a multiplier. What was that? One smart. I'll address your point in a second once I finish talking about Zenon. So somebody remind me to respond to that point by one smart, because Lick and Lumiere are arcane. But anyways, so he's hard to scale. Like, it took Zenon, or it took Yuno actual full like Saint stage power to kill him. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Yuno, when he fought Lucifero, doesn't have his full Saint stage power. So Yuno's not even at his full power throughout the entire Lucifero fight, as you can tell by the size of the Zephyr. The Saint stages around the Zephyr. It's not nearly the size it is when Yuno fights Lucifero. So that's one way you can like really make Zenon strong, is it took a full power Yuno to fight him. But I mean, you can't scale the Lucifero based off that, because I mean, Yuno did nothing against him in a sense. But one thing that also makes Lucifero above, even the larval state Lucifero above Devil Zenon, is when Asta sliced him in half, it took a full spirit dive, you know, with Eurus to destroy half of Worm Lucifero's body. It's a little iffy type of scaling, I guess, because right after that, you know, was fighting an actual manifested Lucifero. But like I said, it's really hard to scale these characters. I hope we get some guidebooks for some clarification. This would be like an hour-long video, because I know some of the biggest debates in the fandom is Fusion Lilith, Magicula, Devil Heart Zenon, and Worm State Lucifero. Which of those four are the strongest? Rank those four. And it's really hard to do that. Like, I would need to like make a full-on scaling chain and try and make sure that nothing contradicts it. But Devil Heart Zenon's strong as hell. Number 8 is a Dromalic. A Dromalic's horns could be a sign of an immense threat. Okay. Their strength is largely represented by the number of horns in their heads, 4 being the strongest. Armed with that knowledge, it appears that Dromalic Unseen Nature must rely on its true strength. The Dromalic appears toward the end of the Spade Saga, quickly revealing it feels completely safe, ignoring the orders of the powerful dead like Lucifero, having aligned with Lucius Agratus. I mean, yeah, that doesn't do anything with his power. Just because he ignores Lucifero doesn't mean that he could beat him or have any relevance. All we can say about a Dromalic, for sure, is that he's stronger than Lilith or Nama. Though I argue that it's likely he scales to Yuno and Marioliona, because Lucifero had confidence that a Dromalic could at least hold them off which means he had to like Adramalik would have to be relative to not get immediately squashed by Mereoleona and Yuna at the same time. So that's one way you can scale Adramalik as well. But one smart, that's who I'm supposed to respond to. You said, okay. Their magic was changed to, so their magic could affect Zagred's magic, but they aren't arcane or Saint Stage, so they don't actually have a way to kill him. Not really true on two senses. So, we know that arcane stage means essentially you have forbidden magic or you've been affected by forbidden magic. You essentially have magic from the other world. That's why they were able to affect the spell that Zagred created. They were both severely affected by forbidden magic. Basically, Licht turned himself into a demon, and that's a lot of forbidden magic. Lumiere absorbed that magic, and that's why they both have forbidden magic. They've both been affected by it. And if you look into the cases of people who are arcane, all the ones that we know why they're arcane, it's because they've been affected by forbidden magic. Julius is arcane because he uses a devil power. Devils use forbidden magic. Asta's arcane. He's using devil power. Yami's arcane. It's likely because he's using forbidden magic, because if you look into the lore of the Kijin of the Land of the Sun, Kijin means demon lord. And we know there's a darkness devil in Lucifugus, and there's a darkness dragon type thing there, which might be tied into Lucifugus. What else? There's a lot of other arcane stuff like that. So, and even when the Undine talks about Sekre, she says that she's been affected by forbidden magic, and then basically goes and alludes that makes her arcane, and that's what happened to Licht and Lumiere. Just because Licht and Lumiere were not stated to be arcane doesn't mean they're not, because arcane wasn't a concept introduced to us yet at the time. So, all things considered, the evidence does point to them being arcane. And now people say, well, if Licht's arcane, why didn't that destroy his heart? Why didn't the ultimate magic destroy Zagred's heart? Well, it's as I said. Yami was sensing what was going on when Licht did ultimate magic, and he said, wow, that didn't even put a dent in Zagred's power, which means that the ultimate magic just wasn't nearly strong enough to do anything to him. So, that's one thing. The other thing is that ultimate magic is also implied to let you to be able to destroy devils. If you go back to the Dryad's statement, she says that if you fight a low-ranked devil, you can kill them as long as you have a lot of magic power. She says the issue is mid-level devils and higher. And then they go and they train and they use ultimate magic. And then Luck uses ultimate magic and he kills mid-ranked devils. Also, if you go just by everything we know about ultimate magic and you compare that to what Mereoleona's Hellfire Incarnate is, she bathed in nature's mana and she got super close to magic power. She got super close to mana itself. That's what Dryad said for the Heart Kingdom squad to do. We're gonna use true magic, which is nature's mana, and we're gonna get close to mana. Remember when Adramalik saw Merio, like her arm turn into fire? He said it's because she got too close to mana, and Lucifero thought that Mereoleona was somebody that could end him, which means that Mereoleona is arcane, or not arcane. She's ultimate magic. God damn, I can't even talk. I'm so tired. That means that Mereoleona likely is using ultimate magic, and then ultimate magic can kill devils. So based on all of that, Licht and Lumiere are either arcane, and if they're not arcane, which I think the evidence supports it, ultimate magic still should be a devil slaying ability. Welcome to my TED Talk. That's a good question though. Was it One Smart that said that? That's definitely a good point. But if we look at everything, it just doesn't really hold up. I think that if Tabata did that, like, it would have been a lot more interesting if Licht and Lumiere were beating the shit out of Zagred, and we got to see how strong they were. But they could not kill him because they were not arcane. Instead of having the like Asta and everybody surpass Licht and Lumiere, they merely just had the ability to kill Zagred, and Licht and Lumiere did not. That would have been a way more interesting, a way better way to keep them as relevant characters. Number 7, yeah, Lucifugus should be above Adramalik. He's higher on the cliff off, so, or lower, I guess, more powerful on the cliff off. But no feats. Besides that, I don't even want to read it because he has no feats besides killing Noct's family and, you know, being stronger than a pre-Spade Saga Noct, which is pointless to even discuss. So I'm not even going to read it. It's just pointless. Lily Aquaria, now that she hosts the second strongest devil, yeah, she should be pretty strong. She'd be stronger than everybody else below her. Well, who else do they have above her? Yami. Okay, that's cringe. At the beginning of Black Clover, Sister Lily was a lovable caretaker who looked after Asta. Blah, 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 blah. Lucius possessed the power to purify devils, redistributing their power to humans as he saw fit. He first demonstrated this ability on Sister Lily, forcing her to serve as the host of the incredibly powerful and now purified Beelzebub. She easily repelled Noelle, Mimosa, and Nero immediately after attaining this power, signaling that the peak of her strength may yet lie ahead. So, yeah. I mean, it's blatantly stated that Lucius just puts Beelzebub inside of her. He incarnates her inside of her, and then he purifies her. And Sacred Power is stated to make Devil Power stronger. So she's stronger than 100% Beelzebub. That's for sure. If they make Lucifero stronger than Lucius, you're going to execute Lucius's plan. So yeah, she should be stronger than everybody because she has all of 100% Beelzebub's power. Beelzebub being stronger than Lucifugus, Dramalek, all of that. Yeah, I agree. But to have Yami here, we have no idea. We have no idea how much stronger he's gotten. I would say, sure, right now, if we just go back and see how Tabata writes power progression, Yami would very likely be stronger than Lily. But we don't know. So all we can do is go off of the Spade Saga. And off of the Spade Saga, he is weaker than a suppressed Lucifero at less than a quarter of his power. Now, it's hard to scale Lucifero on a drama, or it's hard to scale Lucifero on Beelzebub. My interpretation is that when Lucius invades the underworld, Lucifero says, "My power was the strongest." And remember, he lost half of his magic power. And so, if you take into that because Beelzebub and Megicula, formerly Osteroth, are on the same gate as Lucifero, and they should be relative but weaker, that would mean that Beelzebub is stronger than 50% Lucifero, something that Yami was barely comparable to with a combo spell with Noct and the help from others. And then you have Sister Lily power, which would be a fraction on top of that, and then Purified power, which makes it stronger. So Yami should not be close to Sister Lily if we're using Spade Saga scaling. I would put him above Yami, yes. Sister Lily, that's a bit more debatable. The issue with Yuno's, there's a meta for Yuno right now that puts him way stronger than Asta. The issue with that is that it's assuming that Yuno isn't going to get stronger by the time he fights Lucius. Because people just argue that, well, Yuno is strong enough to survive a fight long enough with Paladin Lucius so that he can get a power-up that'll make him strong enough to defeat him. But that's assuming that he isn't going to be stronger by then. So the moon is not even bigger than a city, though? What are you talking about? The moon is half the size of the United States. What happened? What is going on? What are you guys talking about? Anyways. I would say that Yuno is likely on a similar level to Asta. I would have him above Yami. And I probably would have him above Lily just based on him scaling to Asta. He should scale to Asta. Asta, the most powerful wizard. Not really a wizard, but close enough. He's pretty much a wizard, actually. What am I saying? I'm going to check something because Noelle's statement and Noelle's feet paralleling licks provide considerable doubt at the moment for me. Doubt for what? Dark Eye, he might have eaten all the devils in the underworld, all their hearts. It's actually more likely that he has. But... Oh, what? Guys, they put Lucifero above Asta. I didn't even think about that. They put Lucifero above Asta. Bro. No. Oh, he asked out anyone in Black Clover's moon level. Has he not watched any of my videos? I mean, honestly, I don't expect people to know that Black Clover is that strong. There's not a huge Black Clover power scaling community, especially on YouTube. And a lot of people who do power scale Black Clover, it's not very good. Like, I saw people trying to scale Mario Leona and the Spade Saga to small country level, and that was on TikTok, and that got like a lot of views, like more views than my videos usually get. So that's why I'm thinking I'm thinking of starting to do TikTok, because I also found out that people, they clip my videos onto TikTok and just don't even credit me, and they get lots of views. One of them I actually commented on. Actually, I commented on a couple of them. One of them I commented on, and they ended up deleting the video just outright. It was so funny. Moon level feat's a bit iffy. Not really. If in a vacuum, it's iffy. In full context of Black Clover power scaling, it's not iffy at all. But yeah. Anyways, they put Lucifero above Asta, even though we can't include Zeton. We cannot, because this was written before Zeton. But what we can do is say that Lucius absorbed all of Lucifero's power. And then he fights Asta, and Asta forces Lucius to go into his paladin form. Base Lucius is above Lucifero. So yeah, I mean, Asta, he's above Lucifero. There's just not even really an argument. Number 1, Lucius. That is 100% true. I'm just gonna read this in my head, see if anything interesting is stated. Yeah, I mean, they even say that he consumed Lucifero's heart, so they know that, but then they still put Asta lower than him. Is the Black Clover world bigger than ours? Yeah, it very likely is. I might do a video on that, because you can actually... This is gonna sound crazy, guys, but you can get, like, the Black Clover world to, like, at least, like, the size of a dwarf star, which is insane. Not saying that it's, like, you should definitely believe that's 100% true. Like, we'll have to look at, like, a consistent scale for it. But yeah, that's the articles. Now I want to just kind of chill and chat with y'all. Excuse me. But where is the chat? There it is. Julius is equals Lucius space power. Yeah, hold on. Where do I put Marileona on attack potency and DC? I mean, I honestly don't really care about DC scaling, because attack potency is generally more important in versus battles. They did mention Julius. I guess you're right. They kind of put them together in there. They put Julius in that article. Like, I didn't read it out loud. I read it in my head. They mentioned Julius. They mentioned Julius and Lucius there. So they kind of combined them into one. Yeah, I did say they say that Lucius is Julius. I think that that was probably like a forced writing thing, because they have to write it so quickly. But yeah, I know they're not the same person. I'm just thinking that's what their logic is. But yeah, thanks for reading those articles with me, guys. The only right thing is Lucius being number 1. Exactly. They left out Dante. Yeah, that was weird to leave out Dante. I'm trying to think of any other strong characters they left out. Wait a second. That was a long article, but so my memory may be a little off, but did they even mention Megicula? No, they didn't. They didn't even mention Megicula. What? No Dante or Megicula? Whoa. Come on, CBR. That's kind of inexcusable. That's kind of inexcusable. That's a little wonky. No Megicula. No Lilith and Nama. So many characters left off. Most of the captains, you're right, yeah. Another Ryuzen? Well, I don't think the Ryuzen... Because this article was written at the end of September. I don't think that the Ryuzen had any good feats at that time. Megicula is weaker than the Witch Queen, exactly, yeah. Does also having no magic make it more difficult for Lucius his future? Yeah, that's actually kind of what it's implied, that he can't really see the future. And if we base off of how Julius uses the time magic ability, what he does is he senses the mana from the future, and that's how he can see the future. And because Asta has no mana, that means he shouldn't be able to see Asta. Now, how you couldn't see like the mana being destroyed from the future and make a prediction off that, but I don't know. No, I thought it was November, but it ended up being September. But still, like, most of the article was just incorrect based on September anyways. That's probably true. The realist medal is they left out Dante due to him losing to Magna and not understanding Soul Chain Deathmatch, yeah. Elves are above Qliphoth Devils. Yeah, right? Exactly. Megicula was not on there. Most of the captains. Wait, was Noelle not on there? I don't think Noelle was on there either, guys. Bro. They got Noelle. They got Lilipechka on there, not Noelle. That's funny. What's the strongest version of Asta that Deku beats? I think he wins until Asta first gets his black form, the Witch's Forest Arc. Nah, because even base Asta, the Witch's Forest Arc, would be like relative to Multi-Continental. Yeah, no Noelle. Monica above Noelle. Even though Noelle bodied her. What do I think Julius's magic is? Honestly, that's something I want to think about more. I haven't thought about it too much. They did random wheel picker, yeah. That's kind of what it felt like. I'm trying to think of other strong characters that were left off. I mean, they had Yami, they had Yuno, they had Asta. They had Noct. But no Noelle, no Megicula, no Lilith or Nama. I think that's all the strong characters, isn't it? Before Ross learns Key. See, there's kind of a big range, and so like Deku is like small country to actually possibly even multi-continental. But I haven't really fully delved into the scaling to give my my final opinion like I do Asta. I just know like the valid range is like small country to multi-continental. Like, I will be doing a video of Deku and then Asta versus Deku, but I want to reread the manga and research it a bit more before doing that. Placida being Heidi's mother from Hungry Joker. That'd be interesting. Do I think that Asta could beat any of the captains from Bleach? Depending on what arc in Bleach, yes. Later arcs, no. But earlier arcs, definitely. Yeah, that's actually a good idea, maybe Meme Train. To base their magics off of body parts, or body functions. Deku's like sub-relativistic to an island, a country. I think the light speed scaling is actually pretty solid for Deku. For him being light speed to FTL. Like, Deku is strong. He's stronger than a lot of people, like, realize, but it just doesn't compare to Asta. Unfortunately, it'd be really cool if they could have a good battle with each other, but... Asta should be above the Bleach captains besides maybe Ginyu say. What's the light speed scaling for Deku? I mean, it's kind of what Death Battle used in the video. Stars and Stripes catches a laser, and Deku would scale to that. Like, it's like Deku at his like higher levels of power would scale to that. So FTL. And there's also, I believe that Shigaraki used like radio waves, which radio waves move at light speed. So there, like, the light speed scaling is solid for Deku now. Well, like, again, like, light speed is nothing to Asta, and it hasn't been anything. Like, baseline light speed has been nothing to him for a long time. But it's cool to see Deku that strong now. Or fast, I guess. But a lot of people kind of tie in speed and strength to power, because speed is so important to a battle. How strong do I think Fullbring, Shikai, and Banka Ichigo would be in Black Clover? He would be the strongest character, very likely, because the Espada, like the higher end, have star level scaling, like concrete, like casually, and so Fullbring, Shikai, and Banka Ichigo would be considerably above that. Yeah, Asta's been reacting to deflecting light speed attacks since chapter 40. According to Heidi's flashbacks, Hungry Joker remembered that he was waking up in a laboratory with dead bodies when he was little. Possibly the dead bodies could be caused by Lucida's... That's... yeah. I mean, I really hope that there's a connection between the Hungry Joker and Black Clover. That means that it's more likely we'll get more Black Clover content when Black Clover's done. And then just Hungry Joker would be in the same universe. I never see to get a hold of this grimoire to put a leave in it. So, have you seen? I don't know if you've seen my theory that Asta was sent forward in time, but my opinion is that she found Lick's grimoire right after he died, or shortly after, at least. Like, my Asta being sent forward in time video, that theory got so much more valid after the Lucius reveal. Hungry Joker is worth the read, because, for one, it's only 24 chapters, so you can read that in one session, and it's good. It's a very interesting power system. It feels like a sci-fi Black Clover. Scaling for Hungry Joker. I believe there's like multi-continental stuff, and it's light and faster than light as well, because the main character reacts to light and he gets faster. The star scaling would be flimsy as it is base Aizen creating a fake sky like Ohara. No, that's not actually the star scaling for what I mentioned earlier. It's actually not flimsy, because that's actually not even part of the argument. You got a chapter 4 of Hungry Joker? Nice. When did Rashida get a hold of Elixir Mana and leave in it? Well, my theory is that Lick died. Lucita found the Grimoire shortly after. Actually, no. This is my theory. Asta got dropped to the church. Then Demon Lick died. Then Lucita found the Grimoire. And then she found Liba. All within a few days. Because if you watch the anime episode where Rashida drops Asta off of the church, there is no demon skull in the background of Hajj. There's no demon there when she drops Asta off of the church. And the church isn't run down, even though it's run down when Asta's there, when he's dropped off. In the anime. When she drops him off, the church is in pristine condition. When the father picks up Asta from the church is ragged and rugged. Based off, it's basically like in the light novel, one of the characters, I still struggle and have troubles with getting the names of characters right. But one of the Espada is stated to be able to destroy a star or destroy the sun, and then Baragon, his power, like he has like star level statements. I do have a Discord 7. There's a link in the description if you want to join it. I'm in there every day. Yeah, exactly, that Doom Trade. That theory that the Dark Triad were sent forward in time, or they're whatever. Join us at Discord. Come on in. Asta's MFTL plus all around, so in like combat speed, reaction, and travel. Travel's a bit debatable, but what happened to my webtoon? Unfortunately, just the Arthur DeBurrow, who's an amazing artist, a good dude, just couldn't do it anymore. It's a lot of work, and yeah, he just decided not to do it anymore. So that'll be delayed. But I do have another creative project in the works. I wrote a light novel, a fantasy light novel, and I am going to see if Arthur DeBurrow will still want to do the art for it, because the plan was that every other chapter would have a piece of art in the chapter for the light novel. And so we'll see. If not, I'll probably hire somebody else to do it. But I've written a second draft. I had a bunch of beta readers for it. Everybody liked it. But I want to write a final third draft. I need to add a couple more chapters to flesh things out. And then probably do a fourth draft, and then I want to release it to y'all. But yeah, the webtoon is delayed for indefinitely. I have no idea. I have no plans to do it. It's something I shouldn't even focus on at this point, unfortunately. But yeah, that's what happened to the webtoon, unfortunately. We got 2 chapters out. We got a prequel chapter, so we got 3 chapters out. But yeah, it's done for now. When will my webtoon be animated? That's goals, man. That's goals. But, hey, maybe my light novel will be. I doubt it, but... How long have I been streaming? I've been streaming a couple hours now, I think. This is my longest stream in a while. I'm gonna have to end it soon, but I'm still just chilling. So I need to make dinner. Yeah, it's just under 2 hours. But, yeah, I hope you guys end up liking the light novel. I'll be giving away some free copies when it's ready to go out and stuff like that. And members will be getting free copies. But it'll be cheap. I'm going to price it really cheap. But I'm excited to see what you guys think about it. I know a lot of people liked my... Because I actually wrote a light novel. I didn't realize till now I didn't put the last chapter on there. Which I should probably go do. Because there's a cliffhanger at the end. But I made a website called 9fates.com, and then I wrote the light novel 9 Fates. That's the novel that ended up becoming a webtoon, because it's actually doing very well. It's getting thousands and thousands of views and reads. A lot of people read it. And then it got to the point where people were making fan art of it, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to stop writing this story, rewrite it so that it can, become a webtoon. And I went and read it today. Like, I read a chapter. I'm like, wow, my writing style is so much different. Because I wrote it, like, almost 2 years ago. I'm such a better writer now, but... Because that wasn't the best, but... So... Yeah, I really like the story I wrote. The light novel I wrote. Hopefully you guys write. It's a fantasy, like... Pretty fun. Congratulations. Oh, thanks. I mean, it's not out yet. I have a lot of work to put into it. Especially, I cannot draw. And actually, after I wrote the first chapter of 9 Fates... Actually, no. I didn't even write it yet. After I outlined the story, I'm like, okay, I want to try and draw this myself. I used to be a decent drawer when I was in elementary school. Like, decent. I'm like, okay, well, if I can just... And I didn't draw that much. I'm like, if I just work at it, and I can become a lot better than what I was in grade school, then maybe I'll draw my own story. But, there's only so much time in the day. And I put in like 2-3 hours a day of practicing drawing for 2 weeks, and I got worse. And it was getting worse because I'm just terrible at drawing. I'm not an artist in that way. I'm like, okay, well, I just don't have the time, and I don't even drawing's not for everybody. Like, no matter how much practice you put into it, you're only gonna have so much of a peak, and I don't think mine's very high. So, like, I like to write more anyways. Drawing's not fun to me like it was when I was little. Because, when I was little, when I drew, it's because I didn't know how to write. But, so yeah. Whoever asked about the light novel thing, yeah. Unfortunately, it got axed. It got axed, guys. No. Maybe one day. Whoa, I just actually kicked my desk. Yeah, drawing is hard, it's complicated. Yeah, just keep practicing. Keep practicing. I wish I hadn't stopped drawing, because I was, like I said, I was good. Not great, but good. Despite not even drawing that much. I think I was the second best in my class. In, like, the 4th grade. And mind you, I was second best to, like, the girl in my class who, like, won the art contest for the whole school, so... But it's been almost 2 hours. I'm pretty hungry. I still need to work out, and I have to edit a video still, and also write a little bit. So I am gonna dip. That was a really fun long stream. My longest stream in a while, almost 2 hours. Fun. We'll have more of these longer streams now that I am back to my full setup of having 2 monitors. God, when I was in San Francisco for 2 months at that hotel, only having one laptop that I had to place on a microwave because I can't really sit down for long periods of time because I have a bad lower back because I hurt it doing working out like a couple years ago. But yeah, oh yeah, Peep Nine Face. I think you'd like it. Like I said, there's only 2 chapters and then there's a prequel, so it's unfortunate, but definitely check it out. I'm biased, but I heard some good things about it. But thanks for coming in, y'all. I'll be streaming again probably Monday. I would stream Sunday, but there's no chapter, so I'm probably just gonna push it back to Monday. But anyways, y'all, thanks for coming in. It was a fun stream. Hope you guys have a good week.